Let's use color theory to filter out distractions, age spots, broken capillaries, bumps, pimples, dark circles. Let's also use color theory to accentuate the structure of my face, my features, and bring forward what's best about my skin. We're gonna use Demi Colour by Saint Beauty to neutralize excess color on my skin, even to bring warmth and life. And we're going to use opposite colors. 3 things I need you to remember. Blue and orange neutralize each other. Yellow and purple neutralize each other. They're opposites. Just remember Christmas. Red and green will neutralize. But when we put those colors together, they come into the middle and it's just kind of a neutral shade. Anything with excess color and it seems very dark, let's just say dark is blue. If it has that excess color, just say it has a lot of blue in it. Darker areas that are very distracting, even these very dark age spots, they're going to have blue in them. They may have another color with it, but they definitely have significant color, so definitely have blue. With excess shadow is definitely going to have some blue in it. Sculpt is just going to accentuate my natural structure of my face. In this area, you see I have some veins here. It's definitely very noticeable, so we know there's some blue in that. Remember, I definitely have some shadowing there. Any kind of shadow is definitely going to have some blue in it, and I also have some pigmentation. I have a lot going on. For the pigmentation that's muddy green colors, that's definitely got some green in it, so I would need some red. And because I have hollowness, okay, in my cheeks and have the shadow, I'm going to use some orange, and because blue and orange. And because of this vein, it's definitely blue-green. Well, I'm going to use the red and the orange, and it's going to help with that as well at the same time. So I'm larger in, and I'm going to go in with the red Sculpt, NR, and the NO for orange. These are going to add color and balance color. So I've dipped into the red and the orange at the same time because of the hollowness of my cheek. It's going to help with that shadow, and it's making my cheek more round and less hollow, and at the same time, it's neutralizing that vein, and the red is also helping with pigmentation. Now let's go to the forehead. As I've gotten older and way too much sun in my younger days, in age spots now instead of a freckle, so they're not cute. Large veins, my skin is kind of translucent because I am fair besides the hyperpigmentation. So here I definitely have the veins, so those are going to be in significant color. They are more green and they definitely have blue in it, so the red and the orange are going to take care of that. Because of the muddy green color of my age spots, that red is going to take care of it too. Also, any of these spots that are very, very dark, they're going to be more blue in it. Remember, I told you anything with significant color is definitely going to have blue. Hollowness, typically we are green in here, and I'm definitely green, definitely hollow, but hollowness is shadow, so blue. So I use some orange to cancel it. Remember, blue and orange. I use some red right there at my hairline with a smaller end because of lack of color, kind of creating a triangle right there. Sculpting out the nose, I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm going to use, I definitely have some pinkness to my nose, some green, remember red and green, just the smallest amounts right there at the tip of my nose. I'm going to continue that shadow up there. I'm definitely more shadowy right there, so I'm going to use some orange, just a little. I mean, the smallest amount. You're not going to apply this like typical contour. I'm just canceling out color, neutralizing it. So I'm using some orange Sculpt, super light, right in there where, dang, that's good, where I have excess blue. Now we can do this on the eyes as well. We have some hyperpigmentation on the eyes, a little bit of green, so I'm going to use some red Sculpt just right here where I have freckling and just to sculpt out the shape of my eye. Definitely want a little bit here where I have some veins that are kind of blue-green. So I'm just going to use the red. Plus having some red hair, and it just kind of blends all together. See, I've used all this sculpt here. Now it's sculpted out my eyes. So cool. Now let's do some cheek color. Do something red, orange, and that kind of family. Orange, red, 5. And I want to start down kind of low because I just want it to look like I have the natural color in my cheeks without looking like actual cheek color. So it looks extremely natural. And the great thing, you're not going to see this on the skin. So the orange in there, this vein continues up through there. The orange is going to help with the blue of that vein, and then the red is going to help with the green of the vein. Same thing here. I stay down into my cheek area. So I have very large pores. So with those large pores in my cheeks, okay, the orange, and you know, think of a large pore as shadow. So the orange is also helping. See how I'm just kind of dabbing it on there? The orange is also going to help with the shadow of a pore. Oh my gosh, yes. Now, where I have lack of some color here, I definitely want a little more life there, just a little bit. OR7, so it's in the same family, just a little more in the pigment, intense in the pigment. So I'm going to take that and right up here on this part of my cheek. So you just have to kind of play around with a few cheek colors. I highly recommend getting one on the lower end and one at the higher end in number in the same color, and let them work together. Let's go ahead and do the edit small brush, the spot brush. I use this more than anything. These are my brows that I'm going to use to go to what's the most distracting first. Right in here is, I'm really dark, so blue. And since it's in a, I know blood flow goes through that, so it's going to be a blue purple. So I'm using a yellow orange with the tiniest amount. And if you get too much, you just dab it with your finger. So here I have hyperpigmentation in these areas, and it makes that area darker. So I'm going to use something that has more orange in it than just, so I'm using a red orange. Red for the hyperpigmentation, but orange because it's in a shadow part of it. And I just want to be really intentional where I place it. I don't need it everywhere, just particular on those spots. And you learn your colors like really fast. It doesn't take long. Right in here, it's muddy green. Do you see how that? Compare the difference, that little spot there. And when I smile, you can even see it more because it's in a wrinkle. And in that wrinkle is accentuated because wrinkles are shadow. And because that's a dark spot, a darker area, then when I go put it in that wrinkle, or when it's in that wrinkle and then I smile, that wrinkle's even more shadowy because of that dark spot. But when I take care of the dark spot, the wrinkle is not that bad. And you know what? Being 50, That's a really good, exciting thing. Okay, now I'm gonna go back up here into this scar area. So scar is a hollow part, so that is a shadow. So shadow, look at that, guys, it's gone. So this right here is like a true pink color, and maybe hard to tell there. This has definitely got some pink in it, but they've got more, these are more color than this. So these are gonna have more blue in it. This one is just more faint, so it's just straight up red. So I'm gonna use a green, think Christmas, to cancel that red. And it's really just a dark spot of red. It's not the whole area. And when I took care of that red spot, then the muddy area, I want to use the green. The muddy area is really, really faint. I'm just going to use straight up red. There's no blue in it. It's not in a shadow part, so I'm just using a red. But I don't want to put the red over top of red. You got to be very particular. I got too much there. You have to be intentional with your placement. Yes. Now, broken capillaries definitely give me excess color. And I just use a yellow orange right here. It's gonna have more purple in it. And since it's in a shadow part of my nose, it's definitely going to have blue in it, so blue purple. So I'm using the orange for the blue and the yellow for the purple. It's where those capillaries, you know, they just kind of look like a bright red, but really and truly, anything that looks like that is purple. And because this is in a shadow spot, I want to be very careful and not to put too much, and just place it where the color is, or it's just going to look, it's going to show up, and that would add texture. I got a little pink here. Anything that's pinky and it doesn't really stand out is red. Okay, now I'm going to take care of this. Definitely significant in color. I'm going to use straight up 01, orange, just orange because of the blue. You want to be very intentional. Going. All right, right here on my lip. See all that excess color there? It is freckles, and the freckles show off my wrinkles more around my mouth. So I'm going to use, again, a red for the freckles, which are green. And then it's orange, a red orange, for the shadow. And since the lines are pretty significant, I'm using like the 03, red 03. Now I'm going to add color to my lips. I'm going to use a red orange 7. Which is just violet, red violet 7, to add color to my lips, because I definitely have loss of color in my lips, but it's around the perimeter. Now do my brows. My 3D indigo contour right here for my brows. And I'm using the hotline brush.